apa kabar semuanya? Kak Ivan seneng banget bisa ketemu kalian lagi. Tapi ngomong-ngomong, Om Kribo kok kelihatan sedih ya? Kenapa ya? Yuk kita tanya sama Om Kribo. Om Kribo kenapa sedih? Kak Ivan, ini Kak Ivan, aku tuh sedih banget. Aku udah bosan di rumah. Main di rumah, sekolah di rumah, ibadah di rumah. Om Kribo bosen banget. Nah, Kak Ivan ada kabar gembira nih Om Kribo. Sekarang di Ckids ada yang namanya 500 Visitation. Apaan tuh Kak Ivan? Jadi kakak-kakak Ckids akan mengunjungi semua anak-anak yang ada di Ckids, yang katanya jumlahnya ada 500. Wow, aku mau dong ketemu sama kakak-kakak Ckids. Aku sudah kangen banget. Nah, nanti akan ada kakak Ckids yang akan menghubungi kalian untuk membuat janji visitasi. Nah, kalau kalian sudah dihubungi, maka kalian tunggu kedatangan kakak-kakak ke rumah kalian. Bukan hanya itu, sesudah semua anak dikunjungi akan ada yang namanya Ckids Stopover. Hah? Ckids Stopover? Apalagi tuh? Ckids Stopover adalah ibadah Ckids yang diadakan di rumah-rumah dengan jumlah anak yang terbatas dan tetap melakukan protokol kesehatan biar aman. Nah, akan ada games, praise and worship, firman Tuhan, dan aktivitas yang seru. Dan tidak lupa ada hadiahnya. Wah, seru banget. Udah gak sabar lagi nih. Om Kribo udah kangen banget ibadah di Ckids. Kalau begitu, kalian tunggu kakak Ckids menghubungi kalian ya. Ya sudah, kalau begitu Om Kribo mau siapin snack, makanan, dan mainan. Hah? Buat apa Om Kribo? Ya, buat Om Kribo sendiri. Oh, kirain buat kakak Ckids yang mau datang. Oh, tenang, itu pasti ada Kak Ivan. Jangan lupa ya, nantikan 500 Visitation dan Ckids Stopover di rumah kalian. See you!
Hai Kids, hari ini kakak sedang membuat silofon dari gelas kaca ini. Ini sangat menyenangkan sekali loh. Tapi kita kan gak mungkin ya memainkan musik dengan hanya satu not saja. Kita harus membuatnya bervariasi agar suaranya lebih bervariasi, lebih enak didengar. Percaya diri adalah belajar melihat dirimu sendiri sesuai dengan apa yang Tuhan lihat. Jadi dalam buat silofon kita harus percaya diri Kids. Oke, lihat nih. Kakak mau buat dulu ya. Kita isi gelas kaca ini dengan air. Nah, sekarang kita coba ya suaranya. Ternyata udah ada nadanya ya, Kids. Nah, gelas kaca ini dengan not tertinggi adalah yang mempunyai airnya lebih sedikit. Yang punyai air yang lebih banyak, dia punya not terendah. Ini sangat menyenangkan Kids. Ada hal yang lebih menyenangkan lagi loh dari main ini, yaitu kita memuji dan menyembah Tuhan. Let's praise Him.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Are y'all ready? Yeah. Are y'all ready? Yeah. Y'all ready? Yeah. Press play.
We know we belong here because of your love for us that goes on and on forever. Jesus, we know you are with us wherever we go. You're there, we'll always be together.
So sing along with me for all the joy He brings.
It's going down. Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say it's time to press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Jesus, we know we belong here because of your love for us that goes on and on. on forever. Jesus, we know you are with us wherever we go. You're there, we'll always be together.
So sing along with me for all the joy he brings.
It's going down. Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say it's time to press play.
Oh, oh,
Press play.
oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Oh, oh,
Press play.
oh, oh.
Press play. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna break it down one time, y'all. You gotta sing it out with all you got. Y'all ready? Come on, come on. Clap your hands like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Clap your hands like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Now clap your hands like this. Like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Now clap your hands like this. Like this. Everybody get in the mix.
Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say it's time to press play.
Oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh,
Press play.
Kids, Tuhan sudah menciptakan segala sesuatu yang baik dan indah. Tuhan juga sudah menciptakan kita masing-masing unik dan indah seperti silofon tadi. Dan Tuhan berjanji akan setia dan memelihara kita. Ayatnya ada di 2 Tesalonika 3 ayat 3. Tetapi Tuhan adalah setia. Ia akan menguatkan hatimu dan memelihara kamu terhadap yang jahat. Dari ayat itu Tuhan sudah berjanji akan setia memelihara kita. Terbukti kita punya kesehatan, mama papa, atau ada juga yang punya mainan yang bagus. Itu bukti dari Tuhan sudah memelihara kita. Hari ini kita akan belajar setia untuk mengembalikan persembahan kita kepada Tuhan. Apa kalian siap untuk memberi? Mari kita berdoa. Tuhan, terima kasih Tuhan karena Engkau begitu setia memelihara kami, menjadikan kami unik dan indah. Terima kasih Tuhan untuk segala hal yang sudah Kau jadikan buat kami. Sebentar kami akan memberi persembahan kami. Kami ingin menjadi anak-Mu juga yang setia lewat persembahan kami. Kiranya persembahan kami boleh menjadi berkat bagi banyak orang. Dalam nama Tuhan Yesus kami berdoa. Amin. Selamat memberi, Kids!
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Judges, chapters 6 through 8.
As many times before, the Israelites turned away from God. He allowed the Midianites to take over their land. God's people hid out in caves. When they tried to grow plants or tend to livestock, the Midianites would show up and destroy their crops and animals. At last, the Israelites cried out to God for help. He heard them and sent the angel of the Lord to a man named Gideon, who was threshing grain in a winepress.
Mighty warrior, the Lord is with you.
All Gideon could do for a moment was stop and stare.
Pardon me, sir. You said the Lord is with us? Then why has all this happened? The Lord has deserted us.
You are strong. Go and save Israel from the power of Midian. I am sending you.
Pardon me, sir, but how can I possibly save Israel? My family is the weakest in the tribe, and I'm the least important member.
I will be with you.
Even with a direct message from the Lord, Gideon was still nervous about the whole thing.
Give me a special sign. Then I'll know it's really you talking to me.
So God gave Gideon a sign, sending fire to burn up meat and bread. God's spirit was with Gideon, and when the Midianites and the Amalekites gathered to attack, Gideon sounded a trumpet for the Israelites to follow him. But even as the army gathered, Gideon once again pleaded to God for another sign. God responded by letting dew fall on a fleece, and then on the next day, only on the ground surrounding it.
Okay. Okay, I've got it. Thank you.
At last, Gideon was convinced God wanted to use him. He camped with 32,000 men at the spring of Harod and prepared for battle. Here, God spoke again.
I want to hand Midian over to you, but you have too many men.
Too many?
Israel might brag, my own strength has saved me. Announce to the army, those who tremble with fear can turn back.
Gideon did just as the Lord instructed.
There, Lord. 22,000 men have gone home. Only 10,000 left to fight.
There are still too many men.
Have you seen the Midianite army?
Take the men down to the water. There I will reduce the number of them for you.
Even though it must have worried Gideon to lose more of his army, he did just as the Lord said.
Field trip to the lake, everyone.
At the water's edge, the Lord said,
Some men will drink the way dogs do. They will lap up the water with their tongues. Separate them from those who get down on their knees to drink.
Gideon watched carefully. Most men got on their knees and drank directly from the water, but 300 men cupped the water in their hands and lifted them to their mouths to lap.
So, God, I send those 300 men home and keep the other 9,700, right?
With the help of the 300 men who lapped up the water, I will save you. Let all the other men go home.
Oh. Okay. Yes.
Gideon sent home every single person in the army except those 300 men.
Get some sleep. Tomorrow we will figure out what's next.
That night, the Lord spoke to Gideon once more.
Get up.
What? Oh, I'm awake.
Gideon stumbled out of his tent. Below, the campfires and torches of the enemy armies covered the entire valley.
So many. Like a swarm of locusts.
Go down to the camp. Listen to what they are saying. After that, you will not be afraid to attack.
Wondering if he might be dreaming, Gideon snuck down the mountain to hover in the shadows at the edge of the camp. He could hear voices from a nearby tent.
I had a dream. A round loaf of barley bread came rolling into the camp. It hit the tent with great force and knocked it flat.
Wow, but that can only be the sword of Gideon from Israel. God has given him the whole camp.
Gideon listened in shock.
Wow, God. Thank you.
At once, Gideon scrambled back up the hill to the Israelite camp.
Get up! Get up! The Lord has handed the Midianites over to you.
Quickly, Gideon separated the 300 men into 3 groups and handed each one a trumpet and a clay jar with a torch inside.
Watch me. Do what I do. I'll go to the edge of the enemy camp. Then we'll blow our trumpets from all around the camp and shout, "For the Lord and for Gideon!"
Gideon and his men headed quietly down the slope, fanning out in groups to surround the vast enemy camp.
Okay, get ready.
As soon as Gideon sounded his trumpet, he smashed his jar so the torch shone brightly. The other 300 men did the same.
For the Lord! A sword for the Lord! And for Gideon!
The Israelites held their ground, but their enemies panicked, confused by the trumpets and bright lights that pierced the dark night.
They're coming from everywhere.
The enemy armies were so confused, they began to fight each other, and then they fled in fear.
After the men!
Gideon and the Israelites chased their enemies all the way to the Jordan River and beyond until all the enemy armies were destroyed. The Israelites begged Gideon to rule over them.
I will not rule over you. The Lord will rule over you.
Yep, Gideon was an underdog, filled with doubt, but he still chose to follow God, and God used him to save the Israelites.
Setelah mendengar cerita tadi, kakak semakin percaya diri untuk melakukan banyak hal, Kids. Gideon dipakai oleh Tuhan untuk membela bangsa Israel. Tuhan tidak peduli apa yang kita punya dan apa yang kita bisa. Tuhan hanya ingin kita mau bekerja sama dengannya untuk melakukan hal-hal yang luar biasa. Jadi hal yang perlu diingat hari ini adalah God can use you no matter what. Mari kita melatih hidup kita percaya bahwa Tuhan dapat memakai kita tidak peduli apapun yang terjadi. Bye, Kids!